It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. I'm sadly on to my last Czech beer that I packed in my suitcase and brought home from my trip to Prague just a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, feels like the end of what has been a fantastic few weeks, really. I went to Prague, had a great time, packed some beer in my suitcase, packed some crisps in my suitcase, some mustard crisps that I'll be pairing with the beer. And I carried on my journey, really. I went to Prague. I loved Prague. I enjoyed Prague. The Czech Republic is a fantastic place. I went to Czech Pivovar as well. The Pivovar brewery. They were the people who sponsored my trip. It was absolutely terrific. And as I hit the airport, I hadn't had time to pick up any beer or any crisps. But I found a little Billa supermarket. It's like a Lidl or an Aldi. Now, where else in the world would you find, let's say, a Lidl or an Aldi in an airport? But Billa were there, and they were selling beer for about 70 to 80 pence per can. In fact, the crisps were more expensive. So I was able to come home with a load of Czech beer in my suitcase, and I kind of carried on my experience of drinking Czech beer while it was all fresh in my mind. But unfortunately, all good things come to an end, don't they, eventually? This is my last can, Radegast Ryze Hor 12. It's probably going to be about 5.2% ABV. Let's find the ABV on this one. Very quickly. 5.1% ABV. I wasn't far away, was I? 500 milliliter can. It's got that Czech stamp, that quality stamp of approval on the can. I like the figure as well, the lion. I've definitely heard of this. Being in the UK, definitely heard of this brand before. I'm out of beer mugs, so I'm using my Wales. I like to think of myself as a person from the UK. I don't like to think of myself as Welsh or English or Scottish or Irish. I like to think of myself as a British citizen. We are a tiny island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Yet, we are quartered up. This tiny island we live on is quartered up into 5 countries. And I just think it's slightly kind of like there's bigger states in America. So although technically I am a Welshman, I see myself as a person from the UK. And I'm not doing this whole kind of patriotic, I'm a Welshman, here's my Welsh glass, here's the dragon. I don't kind of do that. I used to, growing up, because you're taught it in school. You're taught in school to wear the red jersey and watch rugby and learn Welsh language. But kind of like, I see myself as a man of the world these days. I go to the Czech Republic, I go to Poland and Croatia and all of these wonderful places around the world. Now I've gone for that aggressive Czech pour. What I'm looking to do is knock a lot of that carbonation that's in the can. I'm looking to knock it out of the beer. Oh, well, where else have I been as I'm waiting for this to settle down? Been to Spain a numerous times, Portugal, France. I've been all over. Basically, I've been Bulgaria. I'm missing a million countries here. I've been all over. And do you know what you get from travelling all over? Everybody smiles. Some people are slightly sad. Everybody drinks coffee. Everybody drinks tea. Everybody has to have something to eat. Everybody generally has 2 eyes in their head, a nose and a mouth. We all have to work. We all have to function. But wherever you're going in the world, it might be slightly different. in terms of maybe like the Czechs drink beer till the cows come home, and I quite frankly love that. The Italians, they're very much a food-based country where you have a 4-hour meal every night. But we're all the same. We're all really the same. Nothing kind of like, nothing's really that different. Nothing is really that bizarre. Nothing is really that, like, you go somewhere and you go, ooh, I didn't know that happened here, you know, type of thing. I like to travel, basically. That's what I'm trying to say with this whole kind of Wales. Can you? I know people in this very street. I live in a small terraced house. It's an ex coal miners mining export house where we used to export coal all over the world. And there's people in this street who have never left Wales. Honestly, they have never left Wales. And I just think to myself, wow. You must love it here. I love it here, don't get me wrong. I love it here. But I also love the Czech Republic and everywhere else in the world. 1 to 2 finger white head now on the beer. We've knocked a lot of that carbonation out of the beer. It's an amber coloured beer, very clear to look at. Let's get the aroma. Gonna be honest, there's a little bit of a sulphury. It's almost got that kind of Burtonization, like it's got that kind of Burton water. Slightly farty, slightly sulphury aroma going on. Of course, every region, every part of a different country has either soft water or hard water. This is definitely of that kind of Burton, slightly sulphury, farty water going on. But it's biscuity. It smells quite hoppy. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Comes through in the taste, comes through as quite tinny, comes through as quite metallic, which is a bit of a shame. But the second taste is better than the first. Big mouthful of this beer now is giving me sensations of malt and grist, a little bit of biscuitiness, and then some hoppiness and bitterness on the back end, some stinging nettle flavour coming from the hops. A little bit of carbonation pushes the beer around the inside of the mouth. The second taste is far better than the first. I'm adjusting, my palate is adjusting to this beer. What I will say is very refreshing. It's got that, after every taste I go, oh, it's that, yeah, I like it. I was in the Pivovar brewery just a couple of weeks ago. And very quick story on this one. I come across, So very quick story with this one. Guy in the 1960s leaves school, applies for a job in the Pivovar brewery, gets rejected for the job. Somebody goes on the sick, they employ him on a temporary basis. Long story short, temporary basis as like a cleaning, dragging bags of malt round. He ends up, after a whole career there, he's head brewer. He's now a retired head brewer. He ran the brewing process. Retired head brewer. And now he does the tours. He's a retired man. He's 80 years of age. He does the tours. And while I was in the Pivovar brewery, I got the chance to meet this lovely guy. Come up to me. We were drinking tank beer. And he kind of did this really funny thing, which I really liked. And I can't do it. I've tried to do it because I'd like to know how to do this. But every time he took a sip of beer, he would do something like this. But it was not like I could. It was like more of a plonk, more of a satisfying. This beer is great. And he didn't speak any English. I didn't speak any Czech. But in what he was doing after he was sipping the beer, that satisfying or ooh or it's a universal language, isn't it? It's a universal language of the world. Great tasting beer. This is good. First taste, didn't like it. Gonna be perfectly honest with you. Second taste, much better. Third and fourth taste, yeah, I could drink 6 cans of it. 6 cans of this, absolutely easily. Radegast 12. I'm going to open my last pack of crisps from my trip to the Czech Republic. So I bought 6 beers, 6 bags of crisps. I paired 6 bags of crisps with 6 beers. So the last one, these are mustard crisps. Look at these. They're yellow. Yellowy mustard coloured. Wow. Oh. Oh. Wow. Oh. Super. Absolutely. Absolutely super. They've even got that, so they taste just like mustard. They've even got that mustard. Do you know when the mustard catches the back of your nose? And it makes you do this a little bit. It's even got that slight mustard kind of feeling. Fantastic. Absolutely. Hobžovy STRÁŽNICKÉ BRAMBÚRKY HOŘČICOVÉ, which I presume means mustard. 60 grams. They are fantastic. It's eating a potatoey, mustardy chip that goes really well with the Radegast 12. Beer's good. Crisps are good. Crisps are a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 for the crisps. Now I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. The beer, after the first taste, made my shoulders do this. But it built on me. It built on me. I started to enjoy it. I like it. I think it's a cracking pint. I'm going to give that Radegast 12 an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers.